A gift from Mr. Guinness.
You're gonna start a war.
From a representative of the Dublin poor.
Stephen Knight, sir, this show's absolutely incredible. You blew me away with this. I binged it all in one sitting, and man, you had me. That last episode, I'll tell you what, I need that second season immediately.
I'm working on it, actually. I can't announce it.
Well, look, this series is inspired by true events, but also fills the gaps of history. How did you balance the fact with the dramatic imagination?
Well, I mean, the facts and the actual events and the decisions made by the real characters are quite extraordinary. And often, as ever, the truth is stranger than fiction. So it was great to have that as a roadmap, the stepping stones of events. And if you can get the characters to a place where you're happy, you can almost put the characters into that situation and see how they get from A to B. So that was the plan. And because of the nature of the characters and the nature of the events, it was just so much fun to write and so much fun to make as well.
Now, the theme of forbidden love is present through a lot of the characters within the show. Can you talk about that theme within the show and how we see that affect pretty much all the main characters within it?
Yeah, it's a society where there are certain expectations of what you can and can't do. There are barriers that you're not supposed to cross. And because it's the Guinness family, and the Guinness family are always, I think it's in the DNA of the Guinness family to always be drawn to the forbidden and to the rebellious, even though at the same time they're constantly trying to become respectable. I think each one of the characters has that awareness of what they should be doing and awareness of what they want to do.
Right.
And, obviously with Arthur, because he's gay and he's not at the time not allowed to be gay, he has his whole emotional system is forbidden. And then when he navigates that, and we have the surprising fact that, and this is based on the true story, is that they have this marriage of convenience, but in fact they actually loved each other. Yeah. Those two, Olivia and Arthur, which is great. But then what I found interesting was that Edward, who is the one who's lecturing everybody else, also finds himself wanting things that he shouldn't want and being, forgiving himself in the end for what he does. So yeah, forbidden love is a great observation that a lot of this is what it's about.
Now, you've said the Guinness siblings' mission was essentially don't screw it up and make it bigger. How did you want to explore the pressure of inheritance?
Yeah, it's as I've put into the show, is that one of the sons desperately wants to do this, and he's really good at it, and he thinks he can do this alone. But then Arthur is forced to do it. But what I wanted to establish is that all four of them contribute to what happens next, and that the success of Guinness. So by episode 8, when they all come back together and and they're a loving family, what's happened is that maybe Sir Benjamin knew more than they thought, because maybe he knew what was best for the family. Because in fact, Edward needed Arthur in the end.
Yeah,
and they both needed Anne. Because Anne is the impetus towards philanthropy, which obviously gives the family a certain profile, which helps with the election. Benjamin, I'm not so sure what he contributes, but his contribution is coming. But yeah, it's just this idea that a legacy can feel like a burden, but if you deal with it in a particular way, actually, you can negotiate it so that it's actually a benefit.
Now, Anne says, we started as a brewery, but now we're a symbol. How did you want to show that the Guinnesses are more than just business figures, but a part of Ireland's identity?
Yeah, I mean, it's what happened in a very odd way, because, they make beer at a time when there was a huge temperance movement. There was a huge movement towards the idea that actually any alcoholic beverage was the work of the devil. So they've got that on their hands, and then they're negotiating the two traditions of Catholic and Protestant. And so there's a lot of stuff that they have to do, and they're very young. These are people in their early 20s. And they do make mistakes. And, Arthur's terrible attempt to rig an election is soon found out. And that's the sort of family they are. They make these bad decisions. They're flawed, but what I wanted to explore was the idea that actually at their heart, they're well-intentioned. And in the end, that comes through, and that's what pays dividends.
Look, I got to ask you about an update on The Immortal Man. I cannot wait. I love everything you do. So any update on when we could see that The Immortal Man release?
There'll be an announcement relatively soon, and I can tell you it's really, really brilliant.
Oh, I can't wait. Listen, something else that's brilliant was this whole show. Now, you end episode 8. Should be a crime the way you left it, because I want that season immediately. But I got to ask you, how many seasons do you have mapped out for House of Guinness in a perfect world?
In a perfect world, I'd like to take it on all the way into the 20th century. These things are not being announced. This is not decided. But if you look at even a cursory glance at the history of the Guinness family, they keep throwing up these dramas. They keep making these mistakes. They keep doing these wonderful things. So, yeah, there's enough material there to keep us going all the way.
Look, last question I have for you. I don't know if you're a Guinness drinker, but if you are, where's the best pint you've ever had?
In Dublin, unsurprisingly. But there are some great places in London now where you can get really good pints of Guinness. And I've had decent Guinness in the States as well.
There we go. Mr. Knight, thank you so much for your time. This show is incredible. And like in episode 4, when I was at the wedding, I felt like I was transported back in time. This show shot incredibly. It's beautiful. Thank you so much for your time, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Spes mea en Deo. Love is our hope.